5 elements. We're gonna start placing our hands over our lower abdomen. So one hand over the other with our thumbs interlaced. And I want you just to connect with that breath. So breathe in through the nose and feeling your tummy. Then going to the chest and then breathe out. You breathe in a few times. Breathe out. Connect with the that sensation of groundedness with your feet on the floor. We are giving this time to ourselves to relax into the feeling of that connection. And next we're going to do an activation. So for activating, we are going to stand with our feet shoulder width apart or hip width apart. It has to feel comfortable for you, and we're going to rotate in a way in which our arms rotate with our body, so we can tap the area of the kidneys and the area of our lower abdomen. So with that tapping, we are activating with this movement called knocking on the door of life, the area of the kidneys, waking up the body. This is something that I like to do every morning. It's a great way to wake up that energy so it can start moving and we can start working with it. A couple of more times and relax. And relax your arms and you feel that energy starting to wake up. The next exercise we will do is a stretch. There is a stretch that I really love, which is called separating heaven and earth. So we're going to lift one arm with our palm facing up and the other one stays down. So we're going to stretch to one side and to the other. When we are exchanging hands, we are going to do a little bit of a swirling here in the middle and then stretch. And I want you to do it slowly and slow enough for you to notice that movement and twisting, slight twist to the spine. Relax into that stretch. Stretches are a great way of releasing tension and of opening those pathways. So with that unblocking of that energy, we can make that energy flow. So we do to one side, breathe in, opening up those channels of energy, and breathe out. After a couple of those movements, we are going to relax again our arms and pause for a little bit, just feeling if anything has changed or moved. Sometimes we feel a bit of tingling or warmth. There is a gentle movement of that energy as we wake it up. And from here, we're going to go to our flows with our feet shoulder width apart and our knees. Our knees are most of the time constantly just in that flexibility of just never locked. It's just, we just feel that flexibility of the knees, and we're going to cup our hands slightly so we can have a rounded shape of our arms, and we're going to lift our arms, and when they get around the collarbone kind of level, we're going to rotate the hands and slightly look up. We can do a little pause there, and then we're going to bring our hands down as if gravity was helping us just to bring them down. And then again, we lift our hands. I kind of feel like in flows, I like to think that there is not too much effort in the movement that we make, because either gravity is helping us to bring those arms down, and when they come up, I like to think that there is sort of water lifting them. So we lift them up, we breathe in, and we breathe out. This is working with the metal element. The metal element is related to the lungs and to the large intestine. And this movement is called Buddha holds up the earth. Great. And then when we go down in the same starting point, we're going to hold our hands in the same, it's just in that position with this standing position that is called a lower embrace of the tree. While you have your hands on that position, and standing positions, I like to make them with my eyes closed, because then you can think internally and focus on what is happening inside. We are going to, with every breath, noticing how we bring in white, shiny light, as if they were reflecting from our hands up to our lungs. And we're going to think and imagine that as we breathe in and we breathe out, we are helping our lungs to transform sadness and grief into courage and inspiration. So every time we breathe in white light, bring courage and inspiration, and then release with the breathing out any sadness or grief you may feel. This helps our respiratory system. From here, we're going to go to the next element, which is the water element. And the water element is related to the kidneys and to the bladder. So we're going to, in that position where we were, we're going to turn our hands so that the backs of our hands are facing each other. We're going to have a slight tilt of the hips, and we are remember, our knees are always flexible, so we're going to lift our arms so they get to the point around the collarbone, and then from there we're going to expand the hands to the sides, and then we're going to turn the hands down and they can gather energy, and from here we're going to go up again. So we do, it's like lifting the energy all the way to the collarbone, which is where that meridian of the water element finishes, and then we're going to expand the energy. And then we're going to breathe in when we are down here, and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. When we are down here, breathe in, breathe out, and just feel the slight tilting, and going with that flow. Relax into the flow, so the flow can move your limbs. And when we are down here, we're going to, kind of the same position that we had here in the front, we're going to move it to the back. So we have our hands facing our kidneys, and this is the standing position of the water element, and it's called the bear. Again, you may close your eyes if you want to. And with this, we're nurturing the kidneys and the bladder. And with every breathing in, we're bringing peace, we're bringing tranquility and calm. And every time we breathe out, we can think that we are letting go of that fear. Breathe in with blue light, peace and tranquility. And then we breathe out fear with one more breath. And breathe out. Now we're going to go to the wood element, which is related to our liver and our gallbladder. And for that, again, if you can bring your hands slightly cupped and with the roundedness of our arms, we're going to move from our center, so with the hips, we move to the left and we lift our hands all the way overhead to the center of that head. Then we turn to the front with your fingers pointing to the center of your head, and then you expand and come to the starting position. With that position, we go to the right and we lift our arms, breathing in. You can do a slight pause there, turn to the front and arms down. We do that a few more times. Remember to relax those shoulders. And be aware of your knees being flexible as well. We do one more on each side. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And with your hands down, we are going to hold that position. And this time we're going to do that kind of like the lower embrace of the tree, but we're going to bring it up. So we have our slightly rounded cupped hands facing our liver, and with lovely green shiny light, we imagine that that reflection from that light from our hands towards the liver is helping to let go of anger, frustration, irritability, jealousy. Every breathing out, you imagine exhaling, and then when you inhale, you bring in calm and acceptance and abundance. So you have a calmer mind. You have kindness in and anger out. Bring in kindness, acceptance, creativity. And we breathe out anger and frustration. And from here, just as we are, we're going to go to the fire element. So we stay with one hand up, and then we drop the other hand facing down to the earth, as if we were touching slightly the surface of water. And we're going to turn towards that side where the hand is still staying in position. And we turn from our center. When we get to that side, we drop and exchange hands. Now, that hand that is at the bottom is kind of touching water with our imagination, and then we exchange. This is called cloudy hands. And it's nurturing our heart and pericardium. And triple burner. And small intestine. And in this flow, you connect with your breath and breathe in and out as it feels comfortable for you. I like to do breathing in to one side, breathing out to the other side. But you might do breathing in and out while you go to one side, doing it slowly. But it really is more about you being aware of your breath and feeling your body when it turns to one side and the other, and feeling that nurturing of the heart. One more time on the other side. And from here, we're going to go to the standing position of the fire, which is holding the golden urn. So our elbows are going to be normally nearly at shoulder level, and we're going to hold our open hands with knowing that our thumbs are facing towards the sky, and we're going to hold our hands here, holding that urn. While we have this standing posture, we're going to think and visualize red light nurturing our heart. And with every breathing in, we're breathing in joy, love, connection. And we are breathing out impatience and hastiness and hatred. Breathe in happiness, joy, love. Gratitude. Breathing out impatience. Nurturing our circulatory system. From here, we're going to hold our hands and drop them to notice the connection with the earth. And down here, facing down, we're going to go to the earth element, and we're going to nurture our spleen and stomach. So we're going to start from the level of our stomach, and we're going to expand our arms to the front. Again, this position is with a slight tilt of the hips, and we're going to go up down to the front slightly, and then we bring the hands to where we started, and then again, and we breathe in energy, and when we expand the arms, we breathe out and feel the energy. Here I feel a tingling in my fingers. Breathe in, breathe out. This is called pebble in the pond. We do a few more. Let's do a couple of more movements. Last one. And now, just like we had that holding of the arm, we're gonna now do the pointing the fingers down. So we hold the chi ball with our fingers facing the earth, and it's around that level of the stomach and the lower abdomen. And with this standing position, we're going to imagine yellow light nurturing our spleen and stomach. And with breathing in, we breathe in balance and centeredness and rootedness. And when we breathe out worry and overthinking and ruminating. Breathe in, yellow light. Breathe out. So worry, we let go of worry, and we bring in balance, nourishment. And we have gone through the 5 elements, and to bring all this lovely energy, centered, we're going to do the last movement, which is called bringing down the heavens. So we start here where we were. We are going to round our arms, lift them up overhead, and our hands are facing our body. And we do a few rounds of this movement. Notice if you can feel any sensation on your hands. This is another one that makes me feel tingles in my fingers. So you breathe out when the arms come down. You breathe in when your arms go up. And it's like we're smoothing all the energy we worked and bringing it all into the center for storing. It's for storage. We'll do one more. And we're going to end with the same position of the hands that we started. One hand over the other on our lower abdomen. This time we're going to put our feet together. And we're going to do a few breaths while we feel that energy. You can close your eyes and feel how that energy might want to swirl and maybe is kind of making you go from side to side or to the front. Let the energy move you. This is a position called bamboo in the wind, and just like a bamboo with a very, very strong root, no matter what the wind does and how far it pushes you, you can always come back to the center, because that's what we worked for during these few minutes. And thank you for listening to my sessions.